Hey everyone, welcome back to the Haunted Corner. I'm Ashton, and today I'm back with a tale that I've wanted to tell since before I started the podcast. Today I'm covering one of the most famous haunted dolls in history. Today we're discussing the story behind Annabelle the Doll. Let's get into it. This story begins in 1970 when a nursing student named Donna was given the doll for her 28th birthday by her mother. The doll was a Raggedy Ann doll. If you've seen them before, you know what I'm talking about. I'll post pictures on the blog so you can check it out as well. Donna loved the doll and brought it back to the apartment that she shared with another nurse named Angie. She left Annabelle on the couch and shortly after began to notice strange things happening in the apartment. One day, Donna left for work and Annabelle was on the couch. But when she came home from work, the doll was in her bedroom with the door shut. She'd noticed the doll shifting throughout the day, crossing its arms or legs. Donna also found notes saying, "Help us" and "Help Lou" written throughout the apartment on parchment paper, which the nurses didn't even keep in the apartment at the time. Angie and Donna weren't the only ones who were noticing the strange energy surrounding the doll. Angie's boyfriend, whose name was Lou, sensed immediately that something was off with the doll, and he even expressed his distaste for the evil doll. Shortly after, he reportedly woke up from a nap to find the doll crawling up his leg and felt as though she was choking him. He claimed that he passed out from her choking him and initially believed that it had all been a dream. The next day, though, Lou was in the apartment when he heard rustling coming from Donna's room. He thought this was weird because she was supposed to be out for the afternoon. He was concerned that maybe someone had broken in, but upon inspection, he found nothing. No evidence that anyone had broken in, no broken glass, no hiding intruder. But he did find the doll laying face down on the floor and then felt something scratch him. Whatever it was left distinct bloody claw marks down his chest. Around this time, Donna and Angie began to believe in the doll's malicious energy, and they decided to reach out for help. They asked a medium to come to the house and provide some guidance on their situation. The medium held a seance in the apartment and let Donna and Angie know that the doll was inhabited by the spirit of a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins, whose body was found years earlier on the property where the apartment building was built. The medium told the women that the spirit inside the doll was benevolent and didn't want to cause any harm, but simply wanted to be loved and cared for. Donna and Angie reportedly felt bad for the spirit after hearing that and gave the spirit permission to inhabit the doll. But eventually, in an attempt to rid their home of the spirit, Donna and Angie called on an Episcopal priest named Father Hegan. He contacted his superior, Father Cook, who then contacted Ed and Lorraine Warren. If you don't know who they are, you should give them a quick Goog. They were paranormal investigators who were involved in some of the most famous reported hauntings, and they were also the founders of the New England Society for Psychic Research. In the basement of their research center, they created their very own occult museum littered with satanic and demonic objects. Immediately, Ed and Lorraine were like, "Nope, this is not a benevolent spirit inside this doll. This is a demonic force searching for a human host." They said, quote, "Spirits do not possess inanimate objects like houses or toys. They possess people. An inhuman spirit can attach itself to a place or object, and this is what occurred in the Annabelle case. This spirit manipulated the doll and created the illusion of it being alive in order to get recognition. Truly, the spirit was not looking to stay attached to the doll. It was looking to possess a human host," end quote. As the Warrens began to investigate the doll, they quickly began noticing what they believed were signs of demonic possession. The doll moving on its own, the parchment paper notes, and the mark of the beast with Lou's clawed chest. All of these things led the Warrens to order an exorcism of the apartment to be performed by Father Cook. Following the exorcism, The Warrens took Annabelle to their occult museum, where she would remain and hopefully not cause any more trouble. But almost immediately, as in on the drive from Donna and Angie's apartment back to the Warrens museum, despite the exorcism, the unexplained events continued. On their way home, Lorraine claimed that the brakes either stalled or failed several times, almost causing devastating crashes. Lorraine claimed that as soon as Ed pulled holy water from his bag and doused the doll with it, the problem with the brakes stopped. But when they got home, they once again experienced strange things surrounding the doll. They placed Annabelle in Ed's study, but noticed the doll once again moving to different places throughout the house. Even when the couple placed the doll in a locked office in a separate building, the doll would turn up later inside the Warrens' house. At that point, Ed and Lorraine decided it was time to lock up Annabelle for good. They had a specially made glass and wood case constructed, upon which they inscribed the Lord's Prayer and St. Michael's Prayer. There's a warning on the box not to open it, and since they placed Annabelle inside the box, she's stopped moving around. But is it possible that the spirit inside the doll is still reaching out to the earthly world in other ways? Many believe that Annabelle is responsible for several accidents and the death of at least one person. On one occasion, a priest was visiting the Warrens Museum, and he noticed Annabelle and began mocking her and discounting her demonic abilities despite warnings from Ed Warren. The priest laughed it off and left, but on the way home, he was involved in a near-fatal car accident that totaled his brand-new car. Several years later, a 19-year-old man visited the Warrens Occult Museum in Connecticut along with his girlfriend and a few other college students. They were on a tour given by Ed Warren, who was describing Annabelle and a previous experience of a man who had received slashes on him while visiting the museum. At that point, the 19-year-old man who was on the tour ran up to where Annabelle was held behind the glass and started banging on the case and saying, quote, "This is bull. If that doll can put slashes on anybody, do it to me right now," end quote. Ed asked the man to leave, and he took his girlfriend and left on his motorcycle. On the way home, he and his girlfriend were laughing about the Annabelle doll when he lost control of the motorcycle and crashed into a tree. The man was killed instantly, but his girlfriend survived, and that's how we know that they were discussing Annabelle on the way home at the time that the crash occurred. These stories were shared by the Warrens throughout time as proof that a demonic spirit haunted the Annabelle doll, but many skeptics question the validity of the tales. Others, though, believe the story is true. The Warren story of the doll served as inspiration for the Annabelle doll character depicted in the Conjuring universe, although the movie's depiction of the doll is notably creepier in my opinion. Annabelle the doll remains in the Warrens Occult Museum, although the Warrens have both since passed away. Their son runs the museum still. And that is the story behind Annabelle the doll. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you for tuning in today. The sources for today's episode will be listed on the blog post for the episode at www.thehauntedcorner.com, which I will link to in the show notes. If you're hearing this, you're one of our Patreon supporters, so thank you so much for your support. Check out the other episodes of The Haunted Corner available now wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, with new episodes dropping every Monday and Thursday. If you're enjoying the podcast, please tell a friend. Follow us on social media at The Haunted Corner on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. And if you have a case suggestion or correction to share, please send it to thehauntedcorner@gmail.com or submit it through the website. Until next time, be kind and take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you soon. Bye.